Hello YouTube, my name is Vicky. I have decided that I'm going to start a little YouTube channel to give 10-minute pieces of advice for Christian people out there that seem to make mistakes like I have and that always learn the hard way. Because truly, I don't learn anything unless it comes by the hard way. So I feel that I am led to do this because there have been, especially in this past year, lessons that I've learned that have come through trials and tribulations, but I am amazed at how much I've learned through them, although they were painful. The title of this message is When God Says No. Now, as Christians, not baby Christians, I'm talking about strong, mature Christians, we make mistakes. And sometimes we talk ourselves into something that we know that we think we're right about, and then we end up wrong. And God, the loving Father that He is, will rein us in. And basically that could be like a trip to the woodshed. That's what we call the wilderness. And mature Christians, you know what I'm talking about. The wilderness is not an easy place, but that's where we get our strength also. Okay? So this is a message that is so strong still in my mind, and I'm so thankful that I've learned it, because it's going to affect every other area of my life. And basically, when God says no, let me give you a little example in my life. A few years ago, 4 years ago to be exact, I was dating a man that I knew 30 years ago. We separated. He went his way, I went my way. He got married. His wife died 5 years ago. He looked me up. And through the past 4 years, we've been seeing each other off and on. He lives in New Jersey. I live in Florida. This is just a 2-minute background, just so you know the basis for the message here, okay? So, long story short, 4 years ago, I always wanted to do God's will. I always wanted God's will in my life because, to be frank, we don't know what's in people's minds. We do not know. God knows what's good for us and what is not good for us. So, I prayed this prayer, and I asked God I knew He was going to call me, and I asked God to show me through this conversation whether He was the one for me or not, and to let Him tell me through His own mouth 3 times, because we know 3 times is a confirmation. Let Him tell me through His own mouth, or that He's not the one for me, or He is. In that conversation, which was about a half-hour conversation, He did say it 3 times, that He was not the man for me, that He was still in grieving mode at times, because His late wife died a year before that. And so we didn't see each other for a while. We didn't talk to each other for a while. 4 or 5 months go by, He calls me back, and at that point I was alone for a long time, and I really liked him. He was a good-looking guy, a year and a half older than me, and I just let all that go. It's like when the Israelites were in the wilderness, and God did so many miracles. He gave them manna every day. When they complained that they didn't have meat, He gave them meat, quail, so much quail, they didn't know what to do with it. And every miracle that He did, they just forgot about, and they just wanted to go their own way and make a calf and do all this stuff because they forgot about the absolute miracles that they saw there. But I forgot about this conversation. And over these past 4 years, I thought, okay, I went up to see him in New Jersey. He has a book that he wrote 20 years ago of Christian songs. And I thought, oh God, he was a Christian, he'll come back. He's the prodigal son, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you know what? People have their own free will. And if they don't want to come back to God, they don't have to. He doesn't force anybody to come to Him or to leave Him. That's just the way it is. We all have free will. And I ended up marrying him last July 23rd. The marriage lasted 7 days. 7 days. Because, you know why? God said no. He said no. He said, do not be unequally yoked. I could have read that in the Bible. I've read it many times, but I talked myself into it. And, I'm sure I had help from our adversary, the devil, I'm sure he was whispering in my ears and telling me, yeah, it's okay. He was a Christian 20 years ago. He'll come back and blah, blah. Well, the 7-day marriage, this was devastating for the year. I did not understand what was going on. Now I've just gotten divorced a couple of weeks ago. But here's the gist of this. When God says no, it means that that person is not the right one for you. If you don't trust God, it could happen. Something bad could happen, because 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, "Do not be unequally yoked." What happens when we're unequally yoked is we allow Satan into our lives. We open that door, and Satan becomes our father-in-law. Do you want Satan as your father-in-law? I don't. I learned that I don't. And as bad as it hurts, and as bad as you think that, oh, you can change them and all that, don't trust in that. If God gives you a definite answer that the answer is no, please walk away. Please walk away, because he's telling you that this is not the guy for you, and he has somebody else for you. And this goes for men too. There are women out there that are not saved, and if you're a saved man, don't go for it. Don't go for it. Don't let Satan into your life. It gives him a foothold to legally come into your life. You open the door. You open that door. And what you get from it is a person that you're with, or even that you're not with, that is allowed to mess with your mind. And trust me, this has been a tough year. It has been horrible. I cried so many tears, it's just unreal. And once I learned and accepted the fact that this is what this is, that I learned, okay, this is why this is happening to me. Because when God says no, he means no. Don't try to go past him. If you're a seasoned Christian, if you're a baby Christian, you get away with more. But if you've been a Christian for 38 years like I have, you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it. And if you do, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Just don't trust the fact that God will change something that you went against him for. It's not going to happen. God is God. And when he says no, he means no. And I have learned this year that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And let me tell you something. I'm a little wiser now. I'm very wise now. So I just wanted to share this story with you and to tell you that God is faithful. I am thankful that I've gone through this. I really am thankful that I've gone through this, because I have seen nights. I mean, there was one night when I just wanted to die. I was so hurt. And I said to God, I said, I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know how to get out of this depression, this mode. I don't know how to get myself out of it. And he gave me peace instantly. When God answers your prayer and he gives you peace when you're in that desperate mode and you're just crying, that's amazing. God is loving. God loves us so much that he doesn't want us to go through that. Imagine you have a child that's 19, 20 years old and they want to get married, but you know that person is bad for them. And you try to tell your child, your son, your daughter, no, please don't marry them. And then that person just beats them up emotionally, in any way, just like terrifies them and hurts them over and over and over and over again. And they don't listen. That's what God's trying to prevent us to do. That's why he says, do not be unequally yoked. If you're a Christian, marry somebody that's a Christian. Don't open the door for Satan to come into your life and mess with you. You don't want Satan as a father-in-law. Trust me, you don't. So I just wanted to share this story with you. It comes along with, like, I've been through the last 9 years of studying professional counseling. I'm almost finished my degree, my master's, and I've learned so much. And with my mixed 38-year Christianity, my walk with God, I wasn't as close to him ever as I have been this past year, because this pain brought me close. This pain made me beg God for help, But I don't want it to last this long, this video. I just wanted to share my story and to let people know, don't let Satan into your life. Don't let him into your life. He can take control. He can just mess with you. There's no stopping him. He knows how to oppress us, depress us, and you don't want that. You want to be free. Listen to God. When you're in a situation and you don't know what to do, ask God. He'll show you. but then trust his answer. And whatever his answer is, do that. If he says no, walk away. Walk away. God knows that we're made for relationships. We're made to be loved. That's the way he wants it. Each woman should have her own husband. Each husband his own wife. That's the way he wants it. But trust God for the person that he has for you. Okay, so I just wanted to share my story, and I wanted to just give a little bit of counseling advice there. So thank you for listening. God bless, and take care of yourselves and take care of your spirituality. It's very important. Okay, God bless.